Joining us now, he's not on the Warhorse Sportsbook hotline. He's live here in person, is Mike Sautter, our very own Hurrdat Sports chief basketball correspondent. Senior basketball analyst?
Sure.
All right, that'll work. Senior basketball analyst Mike Sautter. How are you, bud?
Well, I'm feeling like a pirate with a peg leg made of gold today. So
I don't even know what that means.
Can we call you the CEO of Hurrdat Sports basketball coverage?
Sure.
Yeah, all right.
We'll call him the CBO, the chief basketball operator.
Ooh, the CBO.
I like it. I like it. So you were out.
Could be like Michael Bublé feeling good too today.
Yes, you were singing before we got on the air. We can't sing on the air because
we just haven't got there yet.
the more like like I'm gonna walk around, with a little limp, like I'm a pirate with a peg leg made of gold.
Is that because the gimpy knee or what's?
No, just tired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You've got a busy schedule this weekend, but last night you were out at Auburn for Auburn and Lincoln Lutheran. What are we laughing at?
Andrew lost it.
You all right?
This dude is tired, and that's why he's walking with a peg leg.
I don't know, man.
Peg leg, like a pirate with a peg leg made of gold. It's a little different swagger.
I mean, geez, get you some Monarchs or something. Put those on your feet. Why don't you? Get rid of your really fashionable style and shoes and just get the old man Monarchs and just go to work.
No, he's not. He's going to be in the nursing home with his Ultra Boost. You know that. He's going to be walking around. He's going to be doing his fit checks. So we'll have the cardigan and be like, oh, cardigan, we got to get the Ultra Boost that match the corduroy pants and my cardigan. There we go.
That's fine.
And that'll be just 3 or 4 short years from now, Andrew. No.
Ravi coming out strong.
Listen, there's only 2 people on the team that I can make old jokes with, and Sauter's one of them. The rest of them, I'm the old guy, so I got.
I am the oldest.
I got to take my shots where I can.
I am the oldest member of our team of people that work here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right though. You've got the most youthful attitude.
That's fine. That's good.
I don't know about that, but
you are 12, so
that's cool. That's cool.
I'm
still on my parents' insurance if I'm 12.
Are you serious?
No, I said if I'm 12.
I was
listen, no judgment. I stayed on my parents' insurance as long as I legally could.
I mean, if you're, what is it, 24 is the cutoff?
I think it's 26 now.
So you could be, Andrew.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, 26 is 25? No, 26. 26 is the cutoff.
Yeah, so you could have been on for another,
And I was. Yeah, I was very fortunate to still be on.
There you go.
Andrew, you're the reason nightmares are afraid of the dark.
Mike Sautter, you're the reason I left Omaha.
Fine.
Don't know what's happening here. Auburn and Lincoln Lutheran played a basketball game.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Last night. This is good. A good time.
Auburn, very good at basketball.
Auburn, very good. Hey, they scored 62 points, and they're averaged over 60 a game.
Yeah.
So, for all you hold the ball people, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
They're just such a well-coached team.
They are. It is. I am telling you, and I told Coach Weeks this after, and obviously him and I have a relationship, but it is. I enjoy watching their teams play so much because they don't just get a good shot; they get a great shot 9 times out of 10. And they guard you for 35 seconds, or they force you to take really bad shots. So they are so well coached. It is 2-hand passes, 2-hand catches. It is unbelievable. He is a really good high school basketball coach, and probably for my money, the best high school basketball coach in the state. He is so good, and his sons are helping, and Trey Bardsley's out there helping. It's just it is a very well-oiled machine, and they're unbeaten, and that was a tough test for them. Lincoln Lutheran in our coaches poll is ranked number 1 in C2, and that happened after beating Ashland Greenwood, who's number 2 in C1, and Auburn is number 1 in C1 and handled Lincoln Lutheran last night. It was close early, but it really wasn't after that. Maverick Binder was really good, and Nixon Ligori was really good for them last night. So, Maverick Binder's a senior now, and I mean, he was an all-state caliber player as a sophomore, and shot it really well last night in the second half. Or the third quarter, they had 4 threes and kind of just opened things up, and it's basically over from there.
Sautter, before we get into the Super Six, before I ask you one question about the Super Bowl, I want to stay with high school here, and we'll stay in A because we've been mentioning for the last couple of weeks that Bell West and Millard North are still extending their gap in the Class A rankings. But who have you liked on the climb behind them?
Westside continues to be really kind of right in that mix. They have been all year, despite 4 losses. Southeast is coming. I mean, they're 19-5 right now. They're really coming on strong here, and I think Prep will be fine. They suffered a couple losses. Gretna's coming. Gretna's got a few nice wins. They hammered Omaha Bryan on Tuesday night. I mean, just dismantled them. It was unbelievable. And then Pius has played really well. So you might get 2 Lincoln teams. There's a chance you get 2 Lincoln teams hosting a district or being the 1 seed in the district. So that's something. Kearney's playing well too. Kearney has a chance to maybe sneak into hosting a district. And that's one where you don't want to go there.
Yeah, nobody wants to be in that district.
Yeah, like not just the travel part, just the gym. It's hard to play.
Yeah,
in.
no,
it's loud.
The
environment part is really hard, and Ben Johnson is really good. So I would say those guys, to answer your question, have been really playing well. It's kind of that 4 to 9 in the wild card points right now. Any one of those have played well. Papio South got Reese Kircher back, their starting point guard. So they got him back for at least a little bit. So that'll be, they're feeling better about it. He's so key to what they do. They don't really have anyone else that can run the team and handle the ball like that, because Bryson Ball, for as good as he is, that's just not who he is, and you want him off the ball. So to answer your question in A, that's going to be kind of fun next couple of weeks here. You have 2 weeks left of the regular season, or 2 weekends. This weekend, and then next week is the last regular season week. So the district assignments will likely be out next Saturday night. So, or I guess we'll have a good idea by then.
So, Mike, I know that you went to Auburn last night because you've got a crazy busy weekend, so you needed to get your game of the week kind of a little bit earlier. But some of the games that you will not be attending this weekend, but who's got a good slate, or where are the good games this week in high school?
The Heartland Hoops Classic is in Grand Island on tomorrow, Saturday, and the highlight of that is Bellevue West plays Sunrise Christian, and Sunrise is not the same as
not
they
the
were.
juggernaut they used to
be. They had coaching change, so stuff changed. It was a little later, in the process too. So that is definitely it's still going to be a good game. Westside was supposed to play Denver East. Denver East ended up backing out for let's just say they ended up backing out.
Unclear reasons.
No,
pretty clear.
They gave a reason, but I don't know if it jives.
Okay.
So just my opinion on that. Omaha North, Omaha Central is tomorrow at 3:45. Omaha North at Omaha Central. That is a big game, boys game. That's a big game. One, it's a pretty big rivalry now. Two, Delron Thomas transferred from North to Central. They played earlier in the year, I believe, in the OPS Jamboree, if I remember right. So and Central beat them. That was the first week of the year. It was so long ago. So, but that one will be that'll be interesting. And then Class B tonight, Elkhorn and Scott is a big game because Scott just beat Norris on Tuesday night. I was there, and Scott played. Brock Scholl has been playing so well for Scott this year, and that's the second time I've seen them in about a week and a half or two, and he was awesome against Norris the other night, and they went 2 Norris and 1 Scott did, so that's a tough one in it. So Elkhorn at Scott tonight on the boys side, and then Norris travels to Elkhorn North tonight at 5:30, and the girls game is another big one to the number 2 versus number 3 team in our coaches poll playing each other, and then the boys game should be pretty good too with Norris and Elkhorn North. So if you like to go to a dungeon with no cell service for a basketball game, go to Elkhorn North tonight. You can check out that. So
that was always the worst, man. Whenever I would cover games in Sioux City and I'd have to send footage back, going to places like that with no Wi-Fi or no service at all, because you'd have like your little I don't know, what do they call them? MiFis that you carry with you. And if there's no cell service, I mean, man, you're driving town to town just to try to get a better signal.
Yeah, Elkhorn North is it's just so new out there, and they built it as a pit. So there just isn't enough infrastructure built up around it, I guess, for cell towers and stuff, even though you can see a cell tower like right by it. But yeah, it's just one of those places that you just know what you're getting into before you attend, so it's fine. But yeah, it's good. And then I'll be at the Heartland Hoops Classic in the morning tomorrow, or the first 2 games. The schedules, they usually do 8 games, but this year I think they only have 6, so it starts at 11, which is a little different. So Grand Island Central Catholic and Elkhorn Valley play at 11. And then a good one at 12:45 if everybody's healthy, Omaha Concordia and Donovan Trumbull. So 2 ranked C1 teams. Donovan Trumbull, Poppy has been out with a foot, ankle, something for them. Their point guard, who's a nice player. So if he plays, that changes things. And then Crete Ogallala is after that. Crete is unbeaten in B and the number 1 team in B, and clearly, but they suffered an injury with one of their guards, a season-ending injury. And Ogallala's playing well. They only have 2 losses. Then Papio South and Kearney is one at 4:15. That's a big wild card point game. And then 6 is Pembroke Hill versus Gretna. Pembroke Hill from like Kansas City area is playing Gretna at 6, and then 7:45 is that Sunrise Bell West game in Grand Island. So
you're going for the first half of the day out in Grand Island.
Yeah, I'll be there for the first 2 games tomorrow.
The second part of the day, you're heading back to Lincoln for Nebraska and Michigan, which is a huge opportunity for Nebraska because, as you said, they don't. So here's the problem: it's a two-edged sword here for Nebraska on the way out. Right, winnable games for sure. Not a lot of excusable losses.
No,
in terms of who they've got left, right? There's not a lot of games that you look at and be like, oh, if they're going to be on the right side of the bubble, makes sense, or it's okay if they lose that game. Set up to stacks and victories if they're able to play well, but they're looking down the barrel at Michigan, Penn State, Indiana, Minnesota, Ohio State, Rutgers, and then Michigan again. None of those teams outside of, I believe, I don't think any of those teams are in the top 50 of the net rankings currently. A lot of them are in that 80 to 100 range. These are not games that Nebraska can afford to lose, especially at home.
Yeah, they 3 left at home. Wait, is that right?
4.
Yeah, 4 left at home. You got to go 4-3 somehow in this 7.
I mean, minimum.
Yeah. I mean,
if you don't go 4-3, you
got to get to 20 wins. There's no way they're not getting in if they don't get to 20.
Yeah,
especially with this end of the schedule. I will say sound like a homer here, but one of the things is, I mean, this last week and a half has been pretty brutal. One, teams they played, 2 of those games were overtime games, and then you have back-to-back overtime games, and then they came back home, and then they went to Northwestern. So you had 2 road games in a row there. Throw in Wisconsin, who was number 6 at the time, and I think Nebraska broke Wisconsin, actually.
It seems like they may have,
something.
The wheels have started to fall off.
Yeah, it's wild. Losing to Michigan if you're Wisconsin,
it's bad, real
not
bad.
Good. But after Saturday, they have that bye week, like in the middle of the week where they don't have a game. That's what's called bye week. So Saturday to Saturday games. They're the last team in the Big Ten to have that bye week. So they need, I think,
good
they need a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, good timing for them.
They got get through tomorrow, beat Michigan, because Michigan, doesn't have their second best player traveling on the road still suspended for the 6 games or whatever. And so that's huge. It changes a ton. So got to get through tomorrow, get that win, and then Penn State's playing better. Like they're
playing better.
Like they're playing better. So you got to beat them. And then can you win
any road games
at Indiana
at all?
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's where we're at. Can they win any road games at all?
Right.
Will Indiana by then, in a week and a half, will they just be done? Right? Will they just be like, whatever?
Yeah.
Well, at Ohio State is currently last in the league,
and the wheels had fallen
off there.
Yes.
Yeah. So like that one is a look at, and then at Michigan is an 11 a.m. game on a Sunday, and it's 11 a.m. and Michigan just beat Wisconsin at Michigan, and they will have their second best player. So best or second best player playing in that game. So is senior night versus Rutgers the one where you're like just a bad matchup for them? But Rutgers is not good on the road either.
No.
Minnesota, for as bad as everyone, including me, thought they were at the beginning of the season, before the league play started, as bad as they were projected to be, they're actually playing pretty well and
they're
getting
okay.
better.
They're okay. Yeah.
That game's not a layup.
Not great, but they're okay.
Yeah. They're six wins in the league, I think. So
yeah.
They're right there in the mix. I mean, it's I don't know if Nebraska can get the double bye, but they certainly can get a bye.
Gotta get a single bye. I mean,
yeah,
you got to.
Yeah. It's just because you just don't want to play that Wednesday game.
Well, you end up in a real bad spot because if you are playing the Wednesday game, even if your resume looks good besides that,
still doesn't look great.
Losing the Wednesday game,
you'd be done.
Almost automatically pushes you off the bubble. Like we saw that. What was it, 2018?
Yeah. Yep.
Almost the exact same thing happened, right?
They just needed a one win in the tournament.
Yes, and had they gotten the bye, they probably didn't need that win.
How about just don't get to the point where you need to win, where you have to win that game. Just go, 4-3 or 5-2.
I think you got to go 5-2 to avoid needing.
They could go 5-2 with the remaining schedule.
Oh, no, I think they could easily go 6-1 with the remaining schedule. I think 7-0 is too much to ask because 7-game winning streaks are difficult to come by at any time.
College basketball,
but 6-1 I think is really reasonable with the schedule.
At Indiana is going to be a little tough.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a tough place.
I mean, Ken Palm's got that a coin flip game right now, but they've got Nebraska on the right side of it. I know I go to Ken Palm all the time, but he's got them going 6-1 on the way out in terms of now there's a couple coin flip games in there.
Very doable.
There's 3 coin flip games in there. So if those go the other way, obviously things could swing for them. But I do think it's a manageable thing to do what they need to. The question is, will they do what they need to?
Yeah. Just the way they played against Northwestern, just coming out so flat.
A little horrifying. It's scary moving forward.
Yeah, you're like, oof. We'll find out today. I mean, there's media availability today. I'll be interested to see what Hoiberg's kind of response was to how they've practiced yesterday. He said they were going to practice late yesterday, and then obviously practice today, but see how healthy they are, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And Eli Rice is the only contributor that's been out, but he's not like it's not like Rink Mass.
Yeah, right.
So it's a little different there. It's got to beat Michigan. They're 8-15. You got to beat Michigan. I don't care.
You got to beat the teams while they're down. You got to beat the Michigans while they're down. You got to beat the Ohio States while they're down. You have to beat those teams.
Yeah, and you gotta, communicate on a simple flare screen, which they did not do on Wednesday nights, particularly in the first half. Like, that's just basic stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's like week one.
It's
practice
you
stuff.
Just talking.
Yeah.
We're talking college, high school or whatever. High school, you even supposed to talk, but like at that level, you gotta. It just didn't play well. They came out flat. That's it. Jamarcus Lawrence coming off the bench. Well, he was like him and Juwan Garrett were the only ones that were effective on Wednesday. I'll be interested to see if they go back to Lawrence starting and Gary back in the starting lineup, because he hasn't been starting since he came back from the injury.
Mm-hmm.
Well, injury plus one game. And then and so that, they like that big lineup against Illinois a lot, and then they went to it to start the game against Northwestern. It didn't
go well.
So I wonder if Lawrence will be back, or you just have Lawrence be more off the ball and you have Bryce Williams, because Lawrence playing that kind of lead guard thing it was in a funk there for a minute. So it'll be interested to see what they do there, what the starters look like. Josiah Alec, it did not play good on Wednesday. So maybe he's back to coming off the bench in his original role, where they thought was going to be his role going into the season, just the energy guy off the bench. So him and Hoiberg off the bench with that energy would be nice.
Absolutely. That's Mike Sautter. He's not going to be sticking around with us because he's got to get on the road.
Yeah, I got to get going. I got stuff to do.
Too much to do today, but Andrew and I will jump back into some Super Bowl coverage coming up next. We're going to hit that Warhorse prop card that we've been talking about all month and give some of our picks there. Mike, we appreciate your time as always.
Hey, Andrew, good seeing you, my man.
Hey, see you, buddy.
Hey, appreciate you.
Hey, I love you, man.
All right.
More Hurrdat Sports coming up next.